What is up, Wrestle Geeks? It is Big Mike here with a special edition of the Countdown City WrestleCast. With me, my partner in crime today, I have Tommy.
Yo.
And as you can see with us, we have a special guest for today's interview. She hails from the mystical forest. She is the Bewitcher of Hearts, and she is currently the BOTW Women's Champion. It is the Black Swan, Zoe Dubois. So we thank you for joining us.
I'm definitely excited and stoked about this one. Thank you for the offer.
Of course. And just to let people behind the scenes, before we started the recording, we were talking with her, and it was like 10 minutes before we realized we should start the recording.
Yeah.
This is too much fun.
Yeah.
So definitely look forward to this.
Absolutely.
So Zoe, to get started, this is kind of where we start with a lot of our interviews. Wrestling in your childhood, were you into it? Was it around a lot? Was it something you really weren't as a child? Where were you?
It was MIA. I didn't grow up watching wrestling.
Okay.
I always like to say my family were lovers, not fighters.
That's cool. I like that. That's cool.
Nothing but love. I was a little of the black sheep, but my mom, she was a dancer before me, so that was her career as well. And then my dad, he worked stagehand, so they kind of
That's really cool.
At a show, and that's my life. And yeah.
So then, as a child, it was dancing. What age? What were you doing? How early?
So I started at the age of 2.
Wow.
My mom, because she was born and raised from DC, and she came all the way to Las Vegas, where I'm currently at the age of 22, and she was actually one of the first Black females to be a showgirl in Vegas as well.
Oh,
so
that's so cool.
a lot of old numbers and everything, and she had an old friend from South Africa that was starting the company, and you could just imagine little old me just hopping around everywhere. And even my mom, she's like, "Oh, she has nice arches in her feet. She got a little round mark." So she found her old friend, put me in it, and I never stopped. And it's been going on for about almost 21 years now.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
It's been a journey. I definitely, you could tell I've always wanted to be a prima ballerina, but the genetics did not bless me with the ballet-esque body. So, it's always been a dream, but I have done point, I've done tap, I've done jazz. Those are my main 3 growing up. And then from that school that I was with for 13 years, I went to a performing arts high school under dance. And then my old school shut down because all the big kids grew up. So it was no more for me.
Yeah.
And then I found another company out here called Contemporary West Dance Theater, and it was under the name Bernard Gaddis, and he's from Philly. So he had that East Coast pure dance of just concert dance of what it originally started with the music and the idea and the creation. And he came out to Vegas and had his company. So I met him, and I was with him for 7 years, and I went from a second company student to rehearsal director.
That's really cool.
And that's been my journey of dance, and it's definitely it's been an experience, bliss and tears everywhere. But
yeah, that's for a little behind the scenes on my side. That when you came out with your entrance, that was because my wife used to perform all the time in theaters and everything like that. So when she saw you, she was just like, oh, a ballet wrestler. And I was like, well, that's our new favorite from now on. And okay, because she had a very similar story. She did a lot of that. She's actually traveled with metal bands all over Europe and Japan, and she would do a lot of dance stuff. And that's actually how her daughter got into it. She doesn't. My stepdaughter doesn't do it as much anymore, but that's how she would she would go to shows with her mom and see her dancing and imitate it. And then next thing you know, she was doing all that kind of stuff too. So it's really cool. And by the way, just for those who don't know, rehearsal director, that's a hard job. So if she's rehearsal director, my God, that deserves a round of applause by itself. So.
I tell people they're wrong. I'm like, no, you did it wrong.
Yeah, no, that's I've seen rehearsals. I hear that phrase a lot.
I was gonna say, it sounds like you basically have to keep everyone in check and on task.
It's definitely been a challenge as well. I feel like one of the biggest tasks is when having to teach the choreography when all the other directors are not are kind of occupied at the moment. So you have to. There was a time where I had to learn like 7 parts. I'm like, okay, you go up this way and you cross over that way, and then you do this. But the company that I was with, at least the people in it, we were a family. We were so close, and they since them, some of them seen me since 15, all the way from me being 22. They got to see my journey and my growth and my development. So they know how I am. They know how I talk, and we were so tight, and it was beautiful. And we still talk. We all buddies. We're like, hey.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
So it was. They understood my mindset, and I understood how they pick up choreography and understand it and process and how to communicate through that. Because I always like to say, my director, he has his own language sometimes. You know, with patterns, he may hear like a little note in the music, and we're like, where's that ping? What do you hear? But you get the patterns, and you understand how he thinks and how he feels with dance and how he was raised. And I was a good translator, and especially putting everything together, because we would get the movement and then put it in music and then see how it goes if it's a new creation. So we're like, just try it, see how fast, how slow you're going, and then the choreographer guides it to how he seems accustomed and see where the notes are. So sometimes I would definitely have to be the guessing game of like, maybe he would like this leg on that. If he changes, I do apologize. It's okay. It's a work in progress until the show. And then it's a complete masterpiece. And we're making history, even though this history is in a little itty bitty book on the 12th shelf, 2 doors down.
I mean, it's still on the shelf though.
Yeah,
that's
it's still out there.
I mean, because seriously, that doesn't sound like you having to learn each like you said 7 different choreographers all together and still having to teach them. That could not have been easy at all, and that's just so impressive that you're able to do that.
Well, it's like going to school and having your 7 classes, or like
that's true.
Me, or for an entire showcase, we can have 3 or 4 ballets, and each ballet is about 20 minutes, 25, 30. It depends on how long it is. And we have to learn all the cues, all the steps. We have to understand, okay, are we doing a solo work? Are we doing a duet? Is it a full group? If it is a duet, where's my body placement? How's the best way for me to get to said partner that it will work around and make it look fluid? Just a whole lot of everything and anything at once.
That's so impressive.
Yeah, seriously.
But it's the joy out of it, because we get to have this beautiful emotion channeling through our body, and we get to express it to the audience, and that's the satisfaction of it. Because if you when you heard that really one good song and you just get lost, and maybe it's only in the lyrics, how it's spoken, or that one like bass that has that simple groove, or like little hiccups and tings in it that makes it unique, and you get lost in it. It's the same with dance. Once you feel the motion channeling and you have that connection with the song, then you're like, okay, you get to breathe with it and you get to live through it. And it's like, maybe it's my version of runner's high, or jumping off of a cliff, or I don't know, some type of adrenaline dopamine rush.
What makes you feel alive?
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but after hearing all that, I honestly have no idea how you got into wrestling then.
Yeah,
that doesn't seem
we're gonna switch it up to some laughing.
Okay, I'm so curious now.
Yeah, it's definitely very how my life just, you'll never know. So last January, I was working a convention of like a theme park. That was for a host for a shot show or something. So there's a lot of vets, and it was outside of Nellis. So, and in January, it's cold in the desert at night. It get hot. We only got 2 seasons. We got summer and we got winter. That's it. But anyways, it was outside of Nellis, and it was in the middle of the desert, and it was adventure park theme. So there's fire everywhere. We had to dress up like cavemen, dinosaurs. And they had different stations set up for like a game. So they had padded boxing, they had zip line or blah, 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 whatnot. And we got to choose. So I walked around and I saw a sign that said bear wrestling. I'm like, if I'm going to be here at night cold, I'm going to have fun with it. So another girl and I, we were there and we picked it. And we got to meet a few of the wrestlers and some wrestlers. And one of them was in an actual bear costume. And it was Jack. He once used to be called Clay Bishop. He was in WWE for a second, but he was there.
Familiar. Yeah.
We got to chit chat for a little bit, and all throughout the night, you know, you see them wrestle these old vets, making sure. And some wanted to fight, so it was.
I 100% believe it. Yeah.
Some of the women, they started like getting on them. I'm like, this shambles, but we're having a great time. And even on the breaks, like, we got to chit chat with the wrestlers, and the girl and I, we're like, you know, once we clock out, we get in that ring. 9:00 struck. We said bet. We got in the ring. We wrestled with the band a little bit. We wrestled each other for a little bit. And Cal came up to both of us. He was like, hey, do you want to come to training? You know, we have a school, Dark Arts Entertainment, here in Vegas, run under Super Beast. You know, if you want to come to just a training day for free, you're cool. And I said, why not? I was like, you know, because I have an older brother and a younger sister, but a really old friend of mine, she had a younger brother growing up, and we were like, we lived right around the block. So, and her younger brother had a best friend. So we were all big family, and I used to wrestle with them a little bit. So I was like, oh, this is fun. So I wasn't opposed with the idea, and if I didn't like it, then I knew, and I at least I tried it. Fast forward to the training day. I showed up, I rolled around, I did some rolls, I did warm up. I learned a couple of the basics of chaining around a little bit, and then there was a practice match at the end, and it was against Mixed State Majors versus Santana Jackson, and I was like, oh, this is great. And then I just kept on coming back. And I picked up the vocabulary a little bit. And of course, because of my dance background, all the guys, they're like, oh yeah, you're just going to do kicks. You're just going to kick everybody and everything. I'm like, okay. But that slowly developed into what I'm really good at. And I didn't want to leave dance behind completely, because that's my life. How can I separate an old love from a new love?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, you know, a little side note. After the training day, I came and I started going to a couple of the training classes. I told my folks, and they looked at me sideways. I'm not gonna lie, they looked at me sideways, and they kind of, you know, perked their head. And I kept on saying, like, oh, like, I want to come back, and like, I'm enjoying it, and I'm about to start for paying for lessons and everything. And my mom said no. She's like, I don't know about that. My father, he didn't technically say no, but he didn't give me a yes. Mm-hmm. So I went with a yes.
Right. I didn't hear no. You didn't hear yes either, but I didn't hear no. So therefore I heard yes.
If both said no, I would respect, you know, their decision, because wrestling is a dangerous sport. So I know they don't want their baby to, you know, go from a pretty trinkerina to rolling around. Yeah. So I went with that, and even my dad conjured up this amazing name. He was like Badass Ballerina, or Babe for short.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a thought.
It's really not bad.
The Babe coming out, Badass Ballerina. I thought, I'm like, you know, I'll put a pin in it. Yeah. I didn't want to, you know, oppose it. And I kept on thinking, I'm like, okay, if I'm going to be this ballerina and whatnot, how can I bring this in? And I was thinking of like all the old beautiful stories of ballet through all the opera theaters. I'm like, okay, Swan Lake is a very common one. Everybody knows the Swan Lake story. Whether they know it from the movie with Natalie Portman, that doesn't really tell the story of Swan Lake, or the actual ballet. But with the Black Swan character, I'm like, it is very mischievous, and she is entrancing when she moves, but you also know she ain't no good news. Like she something going up, and you don't know. And I was like, man, look, I can join dancing, wrestling, still continue in me. But with that, I dove in more into all the symbolism of Black Swans, and even really learned about the story of Swan Lake, because in the ballet, Black Swan is the main antagonist. He's the one who transformed herself into the princess who was supposed to get the prince, and she portrayed her. So kind of bewitching of a love and dancing, and then, all for gotcha, and, good guy wins. But with it also means new beginnings. It means a start, a change, and definitely an additional version of something that is so common. And also, Black Swans are rare. We are protected by the queen herself, or but with so there is a question mark behind this creature, because it's not common. Everyone knows swans. They always see swans everywhere. They see the white purity. They have the elegance behind it. But when you see a black swan with red eyes, you're like, is that bad juju, like a black cat? Or is it a good omen? So I kind of wanted to embody that a little bit more, still have my gracefulness and presence towards it, but I wanted to be this new beginning, in a sense. We definitely went completely off track, but
no. This is fantastic. I'm loving all this.
I was like, I just went on a trail.
No, you're good.
But with that mindset and mentality, I'm like, okay, this is going to be interesting, and having, at least what I've been heard, that a lot of people have a hard time finding themselves or finding who they want to be in the ring. That's going to be different from everybody else. I didn't really see that as a problem, because I've been doing theater growing up, so at least so far this journey as Black Swan, I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. I want to create art in a destructive way, in a sense. And the last name Dubois is French for of the forest.
I think I did know that and just forgot. Yeah.
Dubois is so beautiful, and it does roll off the tongue. I did have one of my crewmates mistakenly say it wrong, my man M4 Boss Hog. He was like, oh, it says the boy. You wanted the boys. So he's like, sorry, the boy. I'm like,
the boy.
I'm one of the boys.
You're like, yes, kind of, but that's not how it's said.
like yes, but also no. Yeah,
it's a wa. It's a Dubois. But oh man, they definitely have my heart. And Dark Arts Entertainment, where I've been training, has helped me so much with developing my character, because even each coach has a different part of wrestling that makes it the whole picture. So I'm gonna give you a little rundown, everybody, my crew. So Kyle Jack, the high caliber Kyle Jack, he was an actual wrestling champion through college and everything. So he has the training, the shooting, the actual fundamentals. And because he was in WWE for a while, he was in developmental, and like he learned the basic necessities that make you make the difference between good and great.
Yeah.
So it's the little things that matter, and he has an eye for it. Super Beast, he is more of the conditioning, because he is more lucha style, and he is big dude. So he understands the endurance behind it, and also the explosions and the pop of a match. So he definitely dissects more into that. We have another coach, Steve Tresario, and he is really good with sequencing and putting things together and making the complete sentence out of a match. So his psychology is a little on the top notch. And our last coach, Anthony Riv, he's more on the theatrical base of it. So he wants to dissect into who you are presenting in the ring and how do we tell that side of you and not just some random person dressed in a chicken costume or anything that they find pleasing and calling it a day. And then Sabu comes every once in a while and oh yeah, we got Sabu.
Oh, so when are you going to start jumping off of things?
Yeah, I was gonna say. So you know how to use a chair immensely, is what you're saying. Okay, cool, got it. So, good for JP Harlow. No, I'm kidding.
But he makes his presence known, and the rest of the students and myself, we definitely bond through the sweat and everything that we've learned. So it's been a close connection with all my folks. So it's been a beautiful journey so far, and they've helped me understand more into this whole life that I never grew up on. And I am so beyond grateful for them.
So you just went greatly in depth to the creation of your character and how it came about. But we kind of talked a little bit about this before we were recording, but how fun or empowering is it to become Black Swan Zoe Dubois and walk out that curtain and be that for that match?
It's, I'm not going to lie to you, it's night and day. I am who I am here in Vegas, the little dancer of the didgeridoo and whatnot. And everybody knows me as bubbly and nurturing and caring, and I'm a provider and whatnot, and optimistic when I need to be and pessimistic when I shouldn't be. But with that, I'm your everyday gal. But to have this side of me that is empowering and knowing that I may be the black sheep because I am in all black. And even you saw the first Mission Pro Wrestling photo. Yeah. Everybody was in color, and then there's me. But I get a sense because of it of royalty, because I am the one alone against everybody, because everybody has their wrestling experience. Everybody knows the basics of wrestling, and even if you see my matches compared to the rest, I am a little bit more on the mute side than other wrestlers, but I do that on purpose to capture attention, to have that odds. Because yes, it's wrestling, we fighting, but you can even argue like martial arts is a dance. Like every movement, the placement, the transition of it is a style. So I'm just I'm a new style that's coming down. And with it, I want people to see the transitions of how everything is aligned, connected, of going from being aggressive, but also seeing the come down of it, and then the ramp up again, or even the accents of the music that come out of nowhere is a whole story. The only difference between martial arts and dance is that we have the background music of the movies that everybody has in their head. That's the only difference. And I even had this crazy idea or epiphany today, is that with it, because there is music, when you watch dance, we are not trying to dance with the music. We're trying to have the music flow with us. So it is a collectiveness. And even with wrestling, you have a partner. You are in there with somebody, whether you really don't like him or it's a mutual agreement, and know that may the best man win. You are trying to have that connection flow with them. You're trying to read where their hand placement are. When are they going to strike? What's going to happen? Of course, sometimes, little stubbles and you get a little beat up a little bit. But it's still a beginning to end storyline of how there's two people in the ring and the end is only one winner. So how do we go from point A to point B?
And I like that. I like how in both factions of what you're doing, it's about telling a story and getting the people connected, feeling that emotion, whether it's the dance, whether it's the wrestling. It seems to be a really big part of what you love and what you do best.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm alright. I'm a little.
It's I don't know about just I feel like you gained an entire crowd of fans when you debuted at Mission Pro like immediately. I feel like the second you came out, the crowd was, like you said, they were entranced. They were just mesmerized. And then when you wrestled, it's funny because it's like one of those cases where the entrance and all that was great, but can they wrestle to back it up? And when you could, it's like, oh, she's got the total package, And so go ahead, girl, let's some shoulders off. And honestly, to me, when you're talking, I really did think of this. It's like when you said like the nonverbal part of what you do. Honestly, it's almost really early era Undertaker, like when he just did not speak at all. He was really that mysterious, and that was legitimately creepy. I tell everyone this. As a kid, I was actually scared of the Undertaker. Like my sister could do the eye trick, and like as a child, I would beg her to stop because that legitimately freaked me out as a child. When I got older, I was like, oh, that's really cool, yeah. And then in high school, I denied ever crying, but when I was like an adult, no, I cried. But no, it's really cool that you thought, first of all, that you thought of it this much. Like that's so cool that you put so much thought into it like you have. That's really awesome.
Thanks, I appreciate it. It's been a journey so far because even though I can talk about the similarities between dance and wrestling, there's still differences. So because I did not grow up watching this, I have 2 decades worth of wrestling to catch up on. And it's been definitely an investing year learning who everyone is, who the founding fathers were, and how they had their own transition. And I was even petty for a moment. I was just like, everybody's trying to be the next Undertaker, next Hardy Boys. It's not prominent, but you can see it a little bit. Like it's the comparison. That's me being petty. No shame against or disrespect. Please don't at me. But with it, and especially with how people have expressed of me being so out there of the group, but still vibing in the same, just a little far away and bringing something new. It got me a lot of thinking of like, can I bring another era or era of wrestling to this generation? Can I start a whole other style that can bring? Because you have, everybody in their own concept. So I'm like, maybe can this pop off? Can this work? So every time when I come out and people are entranced or just so into what I am doing, it makes me happy that it's kind of working. It's bringing a little question mark to their brains of 2 decades of what they've been watching. So now they're trying to process of like, is this good? Or is this too far off good that maybe it'll just stay in the indies, in a sense?
I get what you mean.
Well, we're going to go ahead and answer the question. It's yes.
The answer is 100% yes.
But in all seriousness, as we were there at that first show, and we have been going to wrestling shows here in town, and when WWE and AEW come to town, whatever, since 2005, right time of 2003, maybe for you.
2005 was my first indie show. That was
that's right. Indie shows, WWE shows. We've been going since we were kids. But that entrance, and seriously, it's nothing we had seen before in the local stuff. Like you said, I mean, you are different from a lot of the other wrestlers, but I think like you said, you're not talking. You're just you're doing your dancing, your rhythmic movement. And everyone's eyes are on you because we're just like, okay, this is something new, and then you walk by us and you got the red eyes and it's like, oh, all right.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to disrespect the
no,
we understand.
Yeah.
as well, because I still have to come in with a sense of like, I'm here to whoop your ass. So
Yeah.
you're gonna get one. Respectfully.
I'm a violent Black Swan.
You know, respectfully. You gonna learn who I am today.
Yeah, you gonna learn
in the kindest way.
Yeah. I really honestly I feel like with what you're saying, you're absolutely right. Honestly, with your whole style, your approach and everything, it's really a unique thing that I think really could go beyond the indies. I don't see why it couldn't. I feel like maybe somewhere would pick you up sooner rather than later. Somewhere like I'll say it. I think you would do amazingly in like Impact Wrestling. I feel like their talent pool over there would mesh with yours amazingly. I feel like Stardom would also be great for you, like because because both rosters are so very. Of course, Stardom being a completely women's promotion, but Impact has one of the strongest women's wrestling. Outside of, I'll say Mission Pro. I'll go ahead and plug Mission Pro because I love Mission Pro. We all do.
Yeah, we do.
But I don't see your style or your approach to it in any way, shape, or form keeping you from making it to the big leagues. I really don't, because I really think you have a mindset and a work ethic for it. I really do. Like hearing you talk about it, how much you put into thinking, I want to do this, I can do that. Maybe this won't work, or even admitting, saying out loud, maybe this won't work. That's just an amazing thing that not a lot of people say anymore. So I really don't see why you couldn't make it to that higher level sooner rather than later. Actually.
Oh, and I love it because I know I'm still evolving. The more people that I do come across in this industry and even in the ring, I have taken so much knowledge from them. And it can be just the smallest thing as well. I take everything with so much heart and even so much grain of salt, because I know that with everyone's opinion, it's a buffet. You're trying everything that you like. You might keep on going back to one specific, thing that is completely delicious. But having everybody's information just completely involved in who I am, I'm getting so much insight and so much power, knowing that there's so many opinions, but everyone still has the same heart for it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just like, oh yeah, you're gonna win it to we in it to win it. And I go 0 to 100. I don't half what I do. I've been dancing for 20 years. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it all the way or not at all. So
yeah, you can tell.
At this point, I'm just like, I'm riding this wave until it either drowns me or I get that beautiful experience of seeing the tube.
I don't think it'll drown you. I've seen a lot of people who maybe started off hot and maybe you can tell, that may not last. But I don't know. I think Mike will agree with me. Just something about your presence overall, just it feels like it's gonna make it. Like just it's gonna push you through all the way through. Yes.
All right, guys. I know it seemed like there was a skip there, but she told such a crazy story we couldn't share it. We had to edit it out. I'm sorry, guys. We could not allow that to be told.
But let me just let you guys know, it's amazing what you can do with pit bull teeth. Let me just put that out there. But yeah, we can't tell the story. Sorry, guys. So.
Sorry, we don't want to get kicked off YouTube. So.
Yeah. Sorry, had to be there.
Yeah. But like we were saying, if you want to keep coming back and beating up JP Harlow every single time, that's fine with us.
I'm surprised he announced that open casket challenge. I'm like, so you just gonna cheat and then just willingly announce that you are, undefeatable or untouchable. So I'm like, okay, let's run it back.
Yeah, please run it back, please. And if you need a manager, the entire crowd has your back. I was going to say just me, but I was like, no, Michael, jump in. No, wait, actually, everybody at Bishop Pro will just help you throw him in the casket and then throw it outside.
Yes.
All I need, y'all, is to get out those phones when I put them in that coffin. That's it.
Oh.
Get behind them. Put a hashtag JP. RIP JP. There you go. That's the hashtag.
Hey, we actually have to do that tonight when we're done.
Hashtag RIP JP.
BJP.
Mm-hmm.
So I did want to ask you, how did it feel when you heard you were going to be at Mission Pro? I don't know if you knew much about it beforehand, but how did it feel knowing you were going to come out for that?
I was ecstatic. I'm not even gonna lie to you. One of my coaches, Super Beast, he helped me with this connection. And he's like, you know, you're gonna show up and you're gonna show out. And I've heard of the name, and I did more digging, and I saw the roster, and I'm just like, wow. Because even with my dark arts entertainment, I am one of the few females there.
Okay.
So, like, oh my God, I get to have girlfriends. And
that's awesome.
That was my whole mindset when I first started. And I got to see I saw Thunder Rosa was affiliated with, and I got to see a couple names. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. And I was like, San Antonio, I've never been, and this is a whole other mentality, a whole new crowd. And because there are so many females, I'm like, I was scared I was gonna either be too exiled or I'll just blend in. So I'm like, okay, we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed. I'll do the best of my ability. And I heard I was going against JP Harlow. I'm like, see, I could beat up boys left and right. I'm chilling.
And it was JP Harlow. We wanted you to beat him up, so we had no problems with it whatsoever.
Yeah, but guess what? He cheated. There's a shock.
Oh no, not JP of all people. That's shocking. Turn page on script. I can't believe he never did that.
So I was definitely like, oh man, I was pissed. I'm like, you really? This is my first time here. This is my first debut, and you gonna cheat on me? That's crazy.
That's why none of us blamed you. It was like, well, JP cheated. It's not her fault. She still lost him, and he still sucks. So
I almost got him.
You almost
no,
did.
you did.
Yeah. Actually, you did have him. Then he cheated. So
yeah.
But I'm like, okay, and but it was such a wonderful experience. Everyone that I met was absolutely amazing, and I got to become really fond of, the woman's queen of the making, Tiffany Mia, La Princesa. My love, we connected and we bonded, and she helped me quite a bit get introduced to everybody, and
that's really cool.
Now she's the champ. I'm like, bow down. One queen to another. I gotta respect where my respect should be given. JP ain't got my respect.
No, of course not.
Tiffany, I was so excited when she won it last month. I'm like,
yeah.
It deserved it. It matched her. Everything was right. Everything was in the makings. But the crowd's reaction was a beautiful thing, and I felt the energy, and the presence of everyone was there and vibrant, and I got some girlfriends. Like,
that's so cool.
I made friends. Yes.
Yeah. I said that once, and then I met that was Mike and JC.
I was like, that's what I've said this last year, going back to all these shows, and like, I know people. They say hi to me the next time I come back.
Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to coming back next month, and actually hopefully having a real one-on-one if he's down to face my.
Yeah, we need to message Brian and make sure there are ways to keep the other boys of the boys revolution in the back.
Can the fans just form a human wall? That's what I want to ask, because I feel like we could do it.
I think we could.
Just not let them through.
You see them slowly walk out. Everybody stands up, just close it off.
Yes. Yeah. Also, with a month and a half, you got some time. Bring lots of merch. Bring tons.
I have some. I was definitely shocked last time I was there, the amount of people that wanted to say hi to me. So that took me by surprise. But I do have some origami, black origami queens, and some papers instructions that's coming out. I have, hoping everything works in the cards. I have some feathered pens. Hopefully works in everything in the cards. I'm going to have some nice, beautiful shirts, both pretty and a little bit on the hardcore punk style.
Nice.
If anything, I'm gonna get a couple more stickers. I got some ones that are really pretty, and I got ones that were more noble for my gentlemen out there.
Okay, so basically, Mike, we're gonna have to have a Black Swan merch table budget for this. That we're just gonna have to just go over there. Now, I say for myself, because I feel like if you bring all this, my wife's just gonna say that, and I'm like, what's that? Her table. Just buy me one of everything. And so I was gonna be like, I'll have one of everything. So, yeah, because with you coming back, I know the buzz has already been extreme for you returning. Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna need that merch table, because if you leave with even half of what you brought, I'll be shocked. Actually, I really will be. So
Yeah. Also, guys, at the end of this interview, we're going to be throwing up our cash apps.
yeah,
So if you want to donate to our Black Swan merch fund, we got a month and a half. We can build it.
yeah, guys, come on. We like nice stuff too, so just help us.
I got some dainty things, every once in a while.
We'll see. And Mike knows this about me. Look, I'm a Sailor Moon fan. There's very little that's too girly for me to have to proudly just wear on anything. I don't care, because if it's awesome, it's awesome.
Stickers. I got one of the stickers. I can't spoil it. But
I'm already excited.
It's everybody gonna feel like they royal up in there. I'm just saying that.
I'm already excited, and I'm already in.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it not October yet?
I know, it's like dang, it's still just August. We have to wait a whole other 2 months.
You're telling me I need the cold to come.
That too, yes.
Yeah, that too. Like the day the temperature down here is below 90 for a day, we're gonna not know what to do with ourselves.
Oh, Vegas is about to skyrocket back up again. Triple digits.
Oh no.
For like 2 days, and it's gonna rain. We're about to feel like y'all real soon.
Yeah, and we're sorry about that. We really are.
It's fine. Does Vegas have a draining system? We'll wear scuba gear. We'll find. We're just gonna row our boats.
I mean, you are literally Black Swan. You can make it.
She'll be fine. Everyone else in Vegas may not be as okay as she.
The light-skinned Black Swan, she don't do water. So we're gonna hover over everything. We're flying everywhere. We ain't touching it.
The light-skinned Black Swan may be my favorite term that came out of this so far. Oh man.
So a few last questions. Are we best friends now, all of us? Because this has been one of the most fun interviews.
Yeah, seriously. Like, and that's not even hyperbole. I just feel like this was so much fun. You're so awesome. So like we should have like Black Swan's best friend shirts made. Like
best friend with Black Swan.
Yeah, I'll wear it. I don't even care.
Tommy, did this barely pass Jasmine's interview for you, or?
We're not even gonna discuss that, are we?
Yeah, plead the fifth. Don't put that.
Yeah, don't. Come on. Yeah.
I could be in the upper bubble though. That's
you're way above. Yeah, no. Anyway,
the joke is that they don't get along at all. He's always giving her a hard time at every show.
Like nothing less.
we don't have legit heat, but there's heat.
There's some truth in every joke. A little bit.
I've told this story when she was on. We had her on earlier this year, and I've told it on our podcast. But I'm going to tell you, my first Mission Pro show that I go to, it's like Tommy's second or third, and I guess by this time he's already got into an antagonistic relationship with her. So I'm in her merch line, waiting to meet her, get a picture, autograph. I'm next in line. There's a person in front of me. He walks by. You're going to waste your money on her? Why are you spending? I was like, I haven't even met her yet, dude. What? And that was the beginning of our time there at Mission Pro. So
yeah,
I mean that's one for the books, that's for sure.
Yeah.
To be fair, I was on her nerves way before then. That would just add a fuel.
Apparently, yeah.
So
you probably tweeted. You said hashtag she ain't nothing, and then.
I don't know if I just put hashtag as Robert said. Jasmine ain't that great. Just said hit send. So.
I mean, I think you've made bottom tier signs before, anyway.
I didn't say bottom tier. It said lowest tier. There is a difference. She ripped it up and threw it in my face.
As one should.
Yeah, like there's a clip if you ever find it. Her versus Holly Dead. I forget which show.
Tommy, I'm pretty
don't
sure
you dare play that. Don't you dare play that clip. I know you've got it. Dang it.
I'm sorry. We got to play this over. Here we go.
Yeah, this is.
It's top tier Jasmine Allure, and if you want to have an alluring time, you better watch Countdown City WrestleCast.
Jesus. Well, I think she likes me, so I'm chilling. I like her.
Yeah.
She just don't like me.
In my defense, I've been assaulted by wrestlers before. That was not my first time.
Oh, at this point, you're like, hey, you should just have red target, red dot on your voice.
I don't need it. They hear my voice and they know they're gonna hit me.
Yeah, like people know him. They hear him and they know he's there.
They don't even need to see him. They just feel him. He's like,
yeah.
No,
it's a disturbance in the
hybrid
force.
people have told them, we're in the back and we know you're here because we can hear you.
I could vouch for that. I think when I met you, your energy is very expressive.
It is.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever
That's the nicest way they've ever put it.
Yeah, that's the nicest thing the way they've ever put it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That was so kind.
I feel like you just have so much pride in your voice that your confidence is exuberated and it is carried widely. But also it just depends on your mood because you can project mountains and, I could already see you portraying a God's voice saying, "Don't, Bobby," or like something about that. But
can we get you to text us encouragement like once a week?
Yeah, you know what? If you ever decide to stop doing wrestling and just go into motivational speaking, I'm in, like 1,000%. So.
Being a loner like myself, you gotta tell yourself those things. You always get lonely every once in a while, so who else is gonna tell you? You smart, you was kind,
and
I
was
appreciate you. And that's it. I may be only one, but I feel like there is many of just ones, and that is how we become a whole. We're one of many.
I like that.
That's words to live by for sure.
So
Mike, I got nothing because this has been amazing. I got nothing else.
It has. I got a few more things. After you bury JP Harlow in October,
yes.
What's the future for the Black Swan? What do you see in the next couple of years? What are you looking to do? What's the plan?
And I'm letting my path take me for where it is. I would love to get to share a ring with a few of the girls, honestly, in my mind, to see what they bring and what they have to offer, and what style of dance do they do? Little bachata. Do they do some waltz? Do they break dance? Do they vogue it out? Do they thwack it? Because it ain't very ballet, but you best believe I will go, hey. Boom, boom.
I think Roche Chanel vogues it out. So
Yeah.
So
I would love to pick her brain a little bit. I know she got a little two-step in her, so I feel like
100%
going against it, that would be a little pinpoint of it. Yeah. But yeah, I'm letting life take me. If JP don't sit down after this,
well, he'll be buried, so he won't.
Yeah.
You won't have to worry about that.
Yeah, we might have to double the count. Ain't no 6 feet. We gotta do 12-footer.
I like where your head's at with this.
With a nice boulder. Just a big
boulder.
Big boulder. Just right on top of it.
It's like, here lies JP Harlow.
It's just that boulder is his. Just.
I mean, thorough and effective. That's what I hear. So.
Don't put his name on it. Just like with Barry, put a boulder on top. All right, let's go. We
could put on top. We could put his cowboy hat right on top of it.
I love it. I have no idea what else to say.
Well, make it even worse. We could put the cowboy boots under it so it looks like Mr. Potato Head.
That's great.
Hashtag RIP JP.
RIP JP.
RIP JP. Look, I'm in.
So if you don't stop us, we could just be here all night because this has really been such a blast.
Hey, I'm gonna start talking about like Thanksgiving and.
Hey, let's go. What are your plans? No.
Look, our rivals against the turkeys. My cousin Goose and I, we about to team up.
Okay, now I want a tag team match of Black Swan and the Goose versus the Turkey. Well, technically, you're fighting a turkey because you're fighting JP Harlow in October. Technically, you're halfway there, actually. So, yeah.
He about to gobble up this dirt when he goes down. Just saying. He about to get stuffed. And don't worry, I'll bring the yams because he about to get this yam and slapping. Because either I'm gonna have to hear him whining all the time now, or he just gonna be little muffles somewhere.
Well, hopefully that boulder will muffle any noises and we won't be able to hear.
You know what? Okay, now I'll be nice. I will be respectful to JP. I'll put googly eyes on the boulders. There you go. That's my respect. Sorry, respectfully.
Don't make me buy googly eyes. Don't make me buy googly eyes and bring them to the show because I'll do it. It's like, oh, he's buried. Everybody outside.
That would be so fun. Everybody just brings a rock with googly eyes on it and just say, "This is JP."
Look, we got a month and a half. We can get this going.
Yeah.
Little cowboy hat.
And little boots underneath.
No, that's so mean. Someone needs to bring like a mini coffin then, so we just put all the rocks in it and say that's.
Brian, I hope you watch this, or we'll contact you soon. We got some stuff to get set up for October.
Look, because I'm thinking here, a mini coffin. You know, my brother's an artist. He actually might be able to like kind of put one of them things together real quick. What if I text him now? How soon would he could do it?
Well, school starts next week. Let me talk to the theater director and see what they got.
Oh, this is wrong.
But it's so right though.
Y'all make me not classy. This ain't
what? But this is Zoe Dubois.
It's Zoe Dubois, but you bringing the west side of Zoe Dubois house.
Well. Look at it this way: whenever someone asks you what happened, why'd you get so crazy in the interview, just say, "Well, I was talking to Mike and Tommy." Stop. You explained everything. Let's just move on.
You know,
oh my God!
All right.
You okay, Mike? You
I'm great. For the officialty of stopping the recording,
yeah,
I think we're gonna bring this interview to an end. Once I hit the end record, y'all are welcome to stay in here, and we can talk for the rest of the evening. But thank you, Zoe, so much for joining us. This honestly was a blast. We appreciate your passion, and it was really a great insight to see how much you put into something that you came into later in your life. But like you said, went 0 to 100 with it. So thank you again. We appreciate it. Tommy, you got anything else?
Just to echo what Mike said, thanks so much. It really is impressive to see, like you said, even though you came in later, that how much you really absorbed it and took it, and you really have made it your own. Because and I do say this in all sincerity, I don't recall seeing a gimmick like yours before. I really don't. And like
where is he? Europe. Remember her name.
Or are you thinking of Cara Noir?
Mm-hmm.
He's as close as I could think of at the time, and he's great too. And I hope he gets to the States someday. But like you two are the only ones I've ever known to do something like this. And it's amazing. It's fantastic. And I am so glad that you'll be back in October, because that is absolutely going to be one of the highlights of the entire show, and probably this year for me.
Oh yeah, I got a few tricks up my sleeve. It's great. I'm coming to you with a new show every time.
Yes. There you go. We like it. All right, Wrestle Geeks, we're going to stop here. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. I'm just going to say bye and end the recording. Thank y'all so much. We appreciate it.
See ya.